Hello, it's me. I'm about to tell you something that you might not believe. That I'm a mermaid, not a queen. I'm a goddess from another realm. So nigga, don't sleep on me. I don't know. I don't know. It's 3:32 a.m. and it was just 32 o'clock, so that's cute. But like, hey y'all, I go by Iara, I-A-R-A. Pretty sure plenty of people don't know that. They just know me by the girl whose name changes a lot and calls herself a mermaid. But I came to discuss something tonight about me, about how I kind of just want y'all to understand me a little better, because I realized I kind of post for me. I use my page as like a video diary about me and the stuff I like and I would want to remember. Okay, now it's 333, cute. But I just wanted to help people to understand better why my sexuality, sensuality, and things like that tie so deeply into my spirituality. And what does that have to do with being a mermaid? So I'm about to tell y'all. I wrote a lot of notes on this because it's deeply interweaves with my whole life story. So I don't want to get so far off subject because I'm a mermaid. We boop, 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 see our thoughts like bubbles and then, go do something else fun. But anyway, see, I feel like I'm getting off subject already. We're already 2 minutes in. But okay, so what I got first is a mermaid is someone who has physical ties to the earth because they were born in a body, but they are on a soul level, their soul is still strongly attached to the chaos realm, which is represented by water, the chaotic fluidity of water. That's why, half on the earth, half in the water. The water is, the spirit realm when we are talking in earthly terms. The primordial realm, it's an earthly representation of the fluidity of the primordial realm. So mermaids are people who walk between worlds. They are here, but their vision is very much so still tapped into the other realm. So they're not very grounded people. They're very happy, giggly people. They, are very loose people. They are very imaginative people. They are really tapped into the imagination realm, whereas, a lot of people are very physical. And so, what was my next notes? Yes, they do like to get lost in the realm of imagination. And when I say also they walk between worlds, it has to do with their intuition too. They're constantly seeing double. I always hear and see what people are saying, but I could feel what you're secretly hiding. So what are you talking about? I never really gave too much power to the earthly realm because I could always feel that people is lying or people is hiding something, and people is, and that made me not liked kind of growing up. I was a not liked kid, even though I was a really nice kid or a really kind kid, because we don't use the word nice. I was a really kind kid, but I was always aware of people's secrets and they could tell even without me saying it. But even sometimes I did say secrets. Oops. My mommy called me the mouth of the South before because she said I'm always telling people business. And then growing up, that turned into a understanding of people's feelings enough to be able to talk deeply with them and become a card reader and things like that. I'm not telling my clients business, but what I'm saying is I can feel what you're hiding and I'm gonna tell it to you and I'm gonna give it to you gently. Okay, so what's next? Water creatures are boundaryless and express affection and intimacy without the elements of sex involved. Yes, okay, that's the next example. And like, what I mean by that is water creatures are naked, they shit, piss, give birth, eat, sleep, die, all in the same substance, all in the same energy. They, you ever seen a group of fish like pile on top of each other to feed or some shit like that? Water creatures have no boundaries. So that's where the realm of mermaid is. It's boundaryless. Mermaids are natural intimacy givers. When you meet somebody in the physical who has mermaid energy, they're usually in your face. They're usually touchy. They usually like to give compliments and give encouragement, and they usually are very I don't know, give you a vibe of do you like me? And it's like, no, I don't like you, but I like you because I see me in you, because we are the same, because we're right on top of each other in this dimension. It's boundaryless, okay? So I put piss, shit, come, cry, eat. But yeah, in their environment, so there's no need for boundaries. And bringing this power down to earth creates confusion because the perversion of the female body in our current society makes mermaids misunderstood creatures, which I just explained, because they seem like they like you, or they seem like they're sexual, they seem like they're swingers, they seem like they want to do this and that, when that is not the case. That is not the case. Look, I'm talking about that is not the case. This is why we're so contradicting. It's funny. That's the thing. I'm so tapped into the spirit realm, but also the physical realm. I have to be in the physical realm. So my freedom is a representation of my spirit. My spirit is free. Mermaids don't even wear shirts. They bounce around joyfully in the water. They don't care. And it's not sexual. But when they come down here, it's perverted, which I'll tell you about my vision later. But let's see. People take advantage of people with open feminine energy. And how I learned from an early age, that the human is attracted to the physical more than the spiritual. Yes, because little boys pointing out that your boobs are growing, people my age being interested in porn early, my friends around me being sexual when I'm 11, and I'm like, what is wrong with y'all? But I see what's wrong with y'all because it's all around us, but why? Yeah, humans are attracted to the physical. And even, I started to use that to my advantage once I got a little bit older. But we'll get to that. And I was about to say, I was taken advantage of a lot growing up and was never taught to empower myself, because I feel like this was a spiritual test for me, for my soul to be fermented properly. But I grew up without a proper father around. So I was only raised by feminine energy and only learned feminine energy. And I do believe this current mission of mine is learning to empower and embrace and learn to just really control my masculine energy, because that's not an energy I'm usually in. That's not an energy I'm known for. I'm used to just going with the flow or whatever. But yeah, I was taken advantage of a lot, just from an early age. I can remember my first assault experience. It wasn't assault because he wasn't hurting me, but I'm 4 years old on a daycare bus, and a kid in my class, his older brother was on the daycare van with me. So he was young. He was in elementary school, but I wasn't even in school yet. And he's just like, I know you like my brother, but I like you too. And it's rubbing my leg, and I'm just like, what is going on here? But I don't know about sex, so I'm like, there's something wrong, but it's nothing going wrong, so I don't know. But like, yes, people crossed my boundaries a lot. Just being able to read my energy and know that I'm an open person. You know, I give you a smile when I meet you because I am a smile. I'm like a walking smile, like, because I am joyful. I have a lot of joy. Like, I have a lot of joy to share because I'm full of it. Like, I'm full of it. It's crazy. But anyways, getting off topic. But yeah, generally disliked by my family and my peers because I knew so many secrets. Like I said, I could feel people's energy, and even if they're lying to me, and I'm not saying that I know that they're lying to me, they can look at me and know, like, okay, she knows I'm bullshitting. So people would generally like stay away from me, X me while I'm doing certain things, like give me snooty energy because like that girl right there be reading people. So let me read her before she read me, or let me just get rid of her before she puts me out there. And I would never put anybody out there, so I'm just like, you're lost. 11-11. But but let's see. I already said this. Did I say this? As I got older, I used it to my advantage to get what I wanted and also just to have fun because as much as I wanted to play dolls, I was a doll player. I was in my imagination. I was tapped into my fucking I was about to say 11th eye, I guess. I'm annoying. First eye, I I was super tapped in. So like, oh, I was super in my imagination. So I would always want to play dolls, and my friends would be like, no, we want technology. We want to be on phones, and we want to, what else? TVs and stuff. And I feel like that was another like test for me to be able to keep my power, was that I wasn't raised around a lot of technology. Like, it was pretty poor. So like, we didn't have cable a lot of the time, and that taught me to stay within my own intuition. You know, I would read, I would draw, I would read, draw, make music, make songs and things like that, all like sitting on you know, I'm thinking about it like in a mermaid way. You know, they're sitting on the rock just combing their hair and, you know, just chilling, enjoying their stuff. I enjoy me, that ass. I'm not gonna go into that because I feel like I'm about to get off subject again. Like, I am so full of joyful energy that I can get lost in talking about how happy I am or how much I love myself. So easy. That's why I'm like, no, 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 no. Hold it back, hold it back, hold it back. Because I have to learn to check myself, which here I'm doing it again. But to like point out some astrology things for my astrology people, I'm a Taurus sun, Pisces moon. Your moon is your natural energy. Your sun is the energy you're learning to create every, like, as you get older, every solar return, you're building this energy. Sun energy is something that's getting bigger and bigger and bigger as you learn to master it. So I'm not actually very grounded. I had to learn to ground my energy. But it's because I have so much big, wet Pisces energy in me. I had to learn to say, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. Makes sense real quick. Okay, so now that I'm back. It says, once I finally did have, how did I get to that? Yeah, okay, what I was saying was I wanted to play dolls as a kid. See how far off I got? I wanted to play dolls as a kid and make art in my teens with my friends. But my friends were partiers. My friends were Matrix people, basically. This is the Matrix. So, like, you know, I just learned to do stuff their way. But I would do it the mermaid way. Like, I would just smoke weed and go to sleep at the party. I didn't go to many parties, but when I did, I would smoke weed and go to sleep. And like, in high school, I made out with like a few girls. That's the like boundaryless mermaid energy, because oh my gosh, I've tried. I don't have a homosexual homosexual energy, desire, urge within my body. Like, I respect women so much. It's crazy. And that's another thing coming from the mermaid realm. It's wet, wild, beautiful women's everywhere. I respect them. Those are my sisters. Those are my reflections. I'm not about to dive up in that pussy. That's weird. How's your pussy's health? That's what I care about. Drinking cranberry juice? Taking care of yourself? Yoni steaming? Listening to your womb? Like, are you doing that? I don't want to dive in that shit. I want to know, are you okay? I respect women that way. And also on the earthly realm, I raised a lot of girls. Like, I helped take care of a lot of girls. So I'm not like wet about them. Like, I'm super wet. Like, so I don't need no more wetness. Like, that's all right. All right, that's enough. So, what was I even talking about? Yeah, I would have my fun at, what my friends wanted to do, but truthfully, that wasn't me. Oh, you see, I got a hole in here. Starting to rip. But, yeah. But, yeah, smoking weed and making out with people, but I held on to my virginity for a while, because even then I knew that I desired true love. I always knew I wanted one person, and I wanted to be with that one person my whole life, and I wanted us to just build our own realm and transcend all of this together, And, it says, once I finally did have sex, I got pregnant within a couple months and had a death and rebirth from that, but it caused me to need money. So I did what I had to do by becoming a stripper. After my best friend did, my best friend, I thought she was crazy at first when she was telling me about her new adventure, because she was always on some new adventures. But once I actually needed the money, I was like, nah, I need this, earthly, scarce, survival, hustle energy, And yes, that experience taught me that no matter how much human money I can get from being sexy, I cannot for the life of me pretend to like being exploited by people with nasty energy. It just wasn't it wasn't hidden for me. This was a big lesson where I fucked around and found out in a series of tragic events that ended in the death of that friend who I originally started dancing with. I have posts of her on my page. She's the godmother of my daughter. She's a guardian spirit of mine now. I don't want to get too deep into that because it's going to take me way off subject. But, and this was a very needed experience in my story because I seriously thought I could just run and hide from my gifts. And let's get for example, I would go to the club and be closed off, as joyful and happy as I am. As much as I enjoyed dancing on the pole, my energy was shut down when I got there. My energy would easily get tired. I actually only went in 2 days a week. I went Thursday and Saturday because I could not handle the energy. I would sleep for the rest of the week. The energy was so bad there, and I'm so empathic that doing that took so much out of me that I would go in there only long enough to get enough money to pay the bill that I needed paid. I was not trying to win the jackpot. I was trying to get what I needed and dip. Yeah, I would go in there, the energy would be so bad, and I'm just get me out of here. And eventually I started respecting myself enough to say, you feel this energy is bad, you have powers. Yes, because I tapped into my power. I started tapping into my power in high school. I didn't talk about that, but in high school, that's when I started. My 10th grade year, I started releasing the Christianity idea because it just was clashing with the things I was learning. So, first I started learning Buddhism. Then I started learning all of the religions. And then I started realizing, fuck religion, just go to spirituality. And then that's how that journey started. And then I started reading tarot cards at about 18 and doing it for friends and things like that. And then that's how that journey started. But so in the club, I'm like, I am who I am, and I can't keep ignoring it every time I come in here because it hurts to come in here. I'm genuinely hurting myself, and I want to stop doing that. So I started wearing my head wrap to work, wearing my head wrap, wearing my crystals, and bringing my cards. And I started doing readings for people. I'm holding this like I got a mic. Seriously, I didn't even plan this. I just, anyways, so yeah, doing readings at work for girls and customers. And one that was the last one I did, it was a very important one for me because it was when I was really understanding that I have mediumship abilities. And I'm literally standing at the bar. I decided to, instead of dance on stage and wait for people to come in, stand at the bar and wait for people to come in. And when they would come in, the door would be not facing the bar, but like, right across from it. One man came in, he was older. He kind of didn't even look like he was a regular. Like, he wasn't somebody that was regular there, at least. So he came up, walked straight up to the bar and said hello to me. And I'm, doing my little mermaid thing, Hi, nice to meet you. Are you interested in a reading? Yeah, like, coaxing them into being comfortable enough. And I guess he sees it like, he walks in and this is the first thing he sees. It must be, a deep moment in his life. So he's, took the opportunity and he said, yeah. And at this time I had like my Orisha cards. I remember that, but I don't remember the exact cards, but I know the couple and something else came out. But something was like, I only pulled 3 cards and I'm like, there's somebody who you lost that you love, possibly a partner, who recognized that you want to find love again, but feel guilty. And they are trying to let you know that it's okay. You can do it. Like, you can find love again. They want you to find love again. And he's just, he didn't cry, but he was getting emotional and like, oh my gosh, my wife died. I needed to hear this. I've been wondering, that's probably why he was trying to slide into a titty bar or something. He wanted to give the illusion that he could have a beautiful woman or have love again or something. But so I say that he gives me the rest of his money out of his, the whatever money he came in to spend, he gave it to me and left out. So that's how like, that's how I learned, like, a lot of people at the club are using the club, who go to the club, are using the club to bandage up old wounds, wounds that are just festering. And I had a few clients that I talked through some stuff up in there. But so, yeah, so far, I got deep, but let's bring it back. So yeah, I started bringing my cards to work because I could no longer pretend that I'm not who I am, covering my head, wearing my head wraps. And after that, I just left because I'm like, if I can do this here, I can do this anywhere. Let me do it. Shit. So, yeah, I fucked around and found out. And I needed it because I learned my gifts. I learned to respect and understand my gifts. I learned to understand that I can't just go around I just wanted to light this. I can't just go around and fucking pretend that this isn't who I am, because there will be repercussions. There were a lot of repercussions. So many repercussions just from pretending to be normal, Stress. But, so over this time of dancing, I'm also taking breaks. Okay, so yeah, I did leave the club after that, but I went back to talking about me dancing. Over the time I'm dancing, I'm also taking breaks because I hate the energy. And during those breaks, I'm teaching myself spiritual hobbies like candle making, I started making my own colored candles for like chakras and certain people, putting herbs and oils and all types of stuff in there. I drew my own cards, but I did that a little later. But was I teaching myself around this time? I know I taught myself candles. I was teaching myself pole dancing. That was more physical. There was a few more things I learned. I just can't think of them. Oh, I learned how to make resin. I made a whole bunch of jewelry out of resin, and then I taught myself how to make my own jewelry. All of these things are made by me. So yeah, I taught myself jewelry making, candle making, and pole dancing all in this time of, and there was a few other things, but clothes sewing and just stuff. Painting, just different stuff. So this was a good and bad time. Very unbalanced. And I would take breaks like for months from the club, I would take breaks for months from the club because I hated it there. I always knew I hated it there, but I always ended up going back, for the fucking money. But yeah, I taught myself general hobbies, but I'm still in general moving in the real fake world, but the real one. Like I'm hiding from the witch trials because I wrote this funny. I'm still generally moving in the real fake world like I'm hiding from the witch trials because I fucking was raised in a family who couldn't accept me. So I learned to hide from scrutiny like a motherfucker. Like seriously, I got my invisibility powers down packed. Yes, my family, they are the queens of secrets. They keep secrets like a motherfucker. And everybody's family probably does. No, I feel like there should be, at least where I'm from in Mermaid World, we do not do that. Everything is at the forefront. That's why it's not that many clashes, because everybody's just spitting out their feelings and everybody's like, oh, well, I gotta accept that because that's from the heart, But okay. Anyways, so I still was desiring love and a true family. So I went through a few relationships in this time because Spirit was just telling me that my God is coming, but they were all false starts. Camera looks a little sideways, but whatever. They were all false starts, and I even got close by having my first boyfriend of over a year. It was like a year and a half, and don't judge me. My boyfriend be like, girl, you only had a year-long relationship. That's it. And I'm like, shut up. He was human. I kept fucking with humans. That was the problem. But anyways, until I realized that we only worked if I suppressed my power and pretended to be normal and let him run everything. And once I started trying to empower myself, he got abusive. Ain't that the fucking story of this world? Let me milk you for all your feminine energy. But if you ever try to respect yourself, I'm gonna beat that ass. But anyways, and so once I started trying to empower myself, he got abusive. So as soon as we broke up, I ran back to the club, which was a trauma response from needing control. But that's gonna be another, that's another thing. But anyways, I realized quickly it was a shitty, dead energy there and left again. I tried another short-lived relationship that went scary. And and after I defeated that archon, bitch-ass hoe, I just felt in my spirit that it was time to meet the love of my life. And that's mermaid energy again, because no matter how many bad things we go through, I went through shit back to back to back to back to back with these men, we still believe in love. I can still feel my fucking twin heart out there. So I'm not about to pretend like I'm just on the sidelines hurt. I ain't on no rebound, nigga. But anyways, I ain't on no rebound. As soon as your ass out the door, I got somebody else rubbing my feet. And that's true. His ass was kissing my fucking feet right after that asshole was, all right, whatever. Whatever, we don't need to get that personal, but this is really personal. And I'm a mermaid. Mermaids are very personal. But, what I was saying, I felt like it was time to meet the love of my life. And so I took a leap of faith with someone else who I had just become friends with around that time, my current God. And we quickly became locked in tighter than I ever imagined. All the synchronicities that I tried to make fit the others finally made sense when I met him. Timothy McGraw. So like, yeah. I say all of this to explain why my sexuality ties so deeply into my spirituality, because learning who I truly am came from understanding that I'm a free spirit and not in the society way, you know? You know what they try to say, like, be a feminist. You could throw your pussy at anybody. Do it. Just go for it. It don't fucking matter. It's just the pussy. Ain't shit sacred about it. Fuck that. But anyways, I'll get naked in front of anybody within respectful boundaries because deep vulnerability is my power. Deep vulnerability within this illusion. I can look you in the eyes with my nipples and pussy out and say, you have a nipples and pussies too. You have a nipples and big clit, aka a dick, okay? We are here with it. We are in this realm with these parts. I don't give a fuck what society says about them being nasty, dirty, perverted, whatever. We have these parts. They are important to us. They carry our holy juices. They carry the fucking primordial, chaotic fluid that actually makes this shit go. And we should never be ashamed of that. But there was so much shame in the family I grew up in that it took a long time to realize that. That's why this was my journey that I had to go through, you know? Anyways, yeah, deep vulnerability is my power, not fucking or being someone's sex doll. Even now. No, I'm kidding. I'm telling you about my vision. I recently had a vision of my capture as a message. Oh, cool, a message. Synchronicity. I recently had a vision of my capture as a mermaid, and I remember waking up in a lab with legs hanging on some fucking thing, like I'm on a cross or some shit, because they're like holding me up and I'm hanging. And the scientists, the people there, are hungrily looking at the body that I was taught was sacred as a hunk of meat to devour. And I remember being confused at first and then realizing that I could use it to my advantage. 3, 3, 3, 3. Yeah, that was 4 threes. I said that right. I realized that I could use that to my advantage to control the people. Like I was fucking whipping their ass and that shit. And anyways, until I eventually realized that my energy felt just as corrupted and dirty as theirs did. And so I ran away, rejoined my true people, and was able to feel like the true, unperverted, like original me again. Like I knew what it felt like to be me again before I had to do things for people so that I could survive, or so that I could be understood, or so that I could be accepted. So like, yeah, this is me. This is who I became out of all of that. You know, I don't post about my sexuality. I don't post me in certain outfits for the attention. I'm not a Matrix girl who doesn't know that what she's using her power for. I'm not a matrix girl using my power to gain anything from the attention. I'm way over attention. But I am me, and I will post me being me, you know? I don't hate me. I don't dislike anything about me. So I'm going to share my favorite parts. And my favorite part of me is my vulnerability. And that's what being a mermaid is. So that about it. I guess I can leave this here. And, stop talking. I don't know. How do you end videos? Yeah, like, see. All I know is loving my body. All I know is caressing my body. So, like, nothing is sexual if you're not having sex. Okay? Okay.